ones do we pick up?
There'll be some tamed ones in with the herd marked with an X.
All right, let's go.
Take care of this. We'll be using it again. Head them out to the North Range and spread some feed around. They'll stay there until we need them.
What'll it be?
Tell the boss I'm here. Pour me a drink. I'll be back in a minute.
Everything go all right?
Look,
How'd the Bell mare work out?
better than ever. She brought that band across the border like she had firecrackers on her tail.
Where's the herd now?
Up on the North Range. We can pick them up again anytime we want.
Did you ever see such beauties? We're really getting organized.
Yeah, I guess those will make a lot of ladies happy.
Well, they won't all be ladies, but they'll be happy. Just keep an eye on those horses, and you'll always have plenty of egg money.
If that gang on the other end does this part, we'll do ours. This whole business can go on forever.
You said you fixed those brakes. Yeah, I thought I said I fixed them too. Fine start we're getting with the owner of the Circle B. I don't think she'll appreciate it.
Well, anybody that lived way out in this forsaken country wouldn't care much what you did. She's probably an old, weazened up old battle axe anyway.
You better stick this back up. Fix these brakes. When you get finished, come on down to the ranch. It's right at the bottom of the hill.
Okay, I'll get these brakes fixed. Or try. Let's see now, to tighten the brakes, the nut goes to the right. No, to the left.
It makes no difference where you are, la-da-da-doo-da. Just hang your heart next to a star, la-da-da-doo-da. You'll always find when things are going wrong, there's always time for a song. What does it matter, work or play, la-da-da-doo-da. It makes no difference, night or day, la-da-da-doo-da. Just keep a humming as you go along. There's always time for a song. You need no special season. December's as good as May. Just sing for any reason, and love will come your way. If you keep going with a smile, la-da-da-dee-da, you'll make your living worth your while, la-da-da-doo-da. You'll always find that things are never wrong. There's always time for a song. You'll always find that things are never wrong. There's always
you think this guy that come in here worth all this trouble? Well, I don't know, but if they have any luck with those horses, that money sure will be. Oh, boy, I sure hope they're handsome. If they're anything like the cowboys that used to hang around here 5 years ago, they'll all be bow-legged, need a shave, and wear big black hats. That could be them. They got pack horses. Oh, boy, I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to make myself glamour. Maybe one of them hasn't bold egg and big beer and things like that. Hello?
Get out of the way, Roy! They're gone again!
Help! Help! Pappy! Somebody! Oh! Oh! You help me! Gee, thanks.
Say, are you Stormy Billings?
That's right. Just Stormy.
Well, I'm Roy Rogers. Just Roy. These are the fellows I wrote you about, Stormy.
Hi, fellas.
Hiya, Miss Billings. Hi.
And this is Sparrow Biffle. Say, what happened to your friend?
Oh, that's Peppy. You see, we weren't expecting you till tomorrow, and she's kind of bashful.
I hope we didn't scare her.
Oh, don't you worry about that.
Hey, Roy, the most amazing thing happened about them brakes. That nut doesn't go to the left, it goes to the right.
Oh, by the way, don't you think your horse might be kind of tired holding both of us?
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me help you down.
This is it, boys.
This is fine. Isn't it, Sparrow?
Oh, it sure is.
You know, you're lucky. That wild herd's been running on our side of the border, and I understand it's the first time in months.
We want to get after him the first thing in the morning. You know, we saw some tracks on the way in.
You did? Good. I'll be up bright and early because I want to take you out to the North Range. This time of year, that's about the only place they can find any feed. I was raised around here, and I know just about every foot of this ground.
That's awfully nice of you.
Nice. The sooner you get those horses, the sooner you get paid. The sooner you get paid, the sooner I get paid.
Going to introduce me to your friend?
Oh, of course, Peppy. Mr. Rogers, this is Miss Valdez.
Charmed.
Couple on the house.
Jeff, take a look at this.
The old Circle B ranch, which has been closed down since the death of Frank Billings, is going to be reopened by his daughter, who recently returned from the East.
That's right. She was in town yesterday with a girlfriend of hers, a South American. They were buying supplies. They're going to clean up the ranch and start operating again.
Roy Rogers, the well-known horse trainer, has leased the Circle B ranch from the Billings girl. That must be the reason she's reopening the ranch. It's been reported that Rogers has recently signed a contract with one of the biggest cattle corporations to supply them with roping horses, which he expects to procure from a wild herd ranging at present along the border. Come on.
I feel glad that I was born as I greet the crimson dawn, riding my golden stallion. What a lucky guy am I, underneath the sky blue sky, riding my golden stallion. Across the purple sage we ride, along the silvery dew. At night I'll find him by my side, he'll always see me through. Then we'll both be on our way, as we greet another day, riding my golden stallion.
See, Roy, I told you. Just look at those tracks.
Look, Roy, there's a shoe print. What's a wild horse doing with shoes on?
shoe print, all right, but only one, and on the front foot.
Why would anyone shoe a horse that way?
They wouldn't. My guess is it's a tame horse going wild. And he's lost all but one of his shoes. Let's go. Stormy, you were right. Here they are.
I told you the leader was a mare.
Boy, look at him run.
On up to the left, there's a box canyon. Maybe you can turn him into it.
This is a break for us. Money in the bank. Come on.
Boxed in.
Let's get these ropes stretched across that opening. Take it easy, though. They're pretty spooky. Stormy, stay back. They might stampede.
I don't think they will if you can keep the mare from breaking out.
I'm going to send Trigger in with the herd. Maybe he can quiet them down and help us hold them.
Hey, he's going to get along all right with that little filly.
Yeah, he sure is.
The bell mare.
That's going to make it tough.
Yeah, but a couple of shots to spook them up, and I don't think they'll be able to hold them.
But you better have a good answer.
I just saved you a lot of trouble. You ought to thank me, Rogers. You know, sometimes ranchers' horses get mixed in that herd. If you go catching them, you might find yourself right in the middle of a horse rustling charge.
You can't call it rustling if there isn't any brand on the horses and they're on free range.
Now, Miss Billings, don't you know that's the wrong attitude? You haven't been around here for 4 or 5 years. Things have changed. I'm only trying to help keep you out of trouble, Rogers. I think the best thing you can do is sort of pull up stakes and mosey on. These ranchers around here have short tempers. They might not like the idea of a stranger moving in.
The last time I saw you, mister, you were doing 90 days for running somebody else's horses in New Mexico.
Stormy, get back out of the way.
There's no use in all of us getting shot up. This is just between you and me.
No, you don't.
Had enough.
Here, let me help you out.
Sparrow!
Well, now we're even.
All right, fellas, put them away. Let's get out of here.
And don't forget, anytime you start messing around with those wild horses, there's going to be a reception committee waiting for you. And next time, it won't be fists.
I hope you're on that reception committee.
I will be. But there'd better not be a next time.
Bring the saddle, Sparrow.
You know, I don't think this guy's going to scare so easy. Well, anyway, he didn't get the bell mare. Lost his own Palomino, too.
Hi, Stormy. You come back too early. Now you spoil my surprise. What is all this, Peppy?
Oh, Stormy, we're going to have a square head dance tonight for Roy.
You mean square dance?
A square dance. I'm sorry, Peppy, but I don't think Roy and the rest of us feel much like a party.
Oh, but I already invited everybody. What's the matter, Stormy? Something wrong?
Had a little trouble out on the North Range today.
Had a little bad luck, Peppy. We lost the wild herd and Trigger went with them.
Trigger, I'm sorry. I was only trying to make Roy feel at home. Well, I guess we better take the decoration down.
I'm sorry, Peppy. It was a nice try, anyway.
Hello, Stormy.
Well, hello.
Looks like you're going to have a party.
Roy, this is Mr. Middleton. Mr. Rogers.
How you doing?
Sparrow Biffle.
Hello.
And Miss Valdez.
Well, how do you do?
Mr. Middleton was a good friend of my father's.
I read in the papers about your plans for the Circle B. You know, Stormy here's always been like a younger sister, even though I haven't seen her for a long time. That's why I came up to see you today. I hear you had a little trouble, a fight out on the range.
That's right.
You recognize anybody in the other outfit?
Sparrow did. He recognized one of the men as a jailbird he'd seen in New Mexico. That's what started the fight.
Well, you know how some people are, Rogers. They sort of resent a stranger moving in all of a sudden and taking over.
I don't take over anything but wild horses, and that's nobody's business but my own.
Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it. But you know, you've got to be practical about these things.
Hey, Roy, come on out. Trigger's come back. What?
Wait a minute. He's brought a friend with him. It's the mare that leads the wild horses.
Yeah, and it looks like love at first sight.
Everybody stay right here.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, great.
I think she's beautiful. Trigger thinks she's beautiful, too.
Hey, now the herd hasn't got a leader. We ought to be able to get the rest of them easy.
This is sure a lucky break.
Now we can have a party tonight, no?
Yeah, how about it, Roy?
Wonderful. Why not?
Good.
Well,
Huh?
I'll see you tonight.
All right.
every hill. You'll make a million friends every day. So come along and sing a song, and you'll belong down Mexico way. Just follow me, and you'll see, when each amigo tells you to stay. So take a dare, I'll see you there, most anywhere down Mexico way. If you wanna go to Tijuana, go, because mañana's very far away. Be gay today and serenade your lady, and your life will be complete. Your heart will beat when señoritas teach you to play. So take a chance and learn to dance. You'll find romance on Mexico way. Ay, ay, ay. So take a chance and learn to dance. You'll find romance on Mexico way. On Mexico way.
Chow time, folks.
Wait a minute. I think I'll go out and have a look at Trigger and the Bell Mare. Be right back.
All right, I'll fix you a plate.
Two of them, huh?
Yeah.
Give some more. After all, I might be thirsty.
Get that horse away from him.
Holy mackerel. That's the same guy that tried to run us out of the country today.
It sure is.
How'd it happen?
Well, it's pretty obvious to me. I'm going to get the sheriff.
How did it happen?
I don't know. But the Bell Mare's gone.
I had the deputy bring you to town, Roy, because Jeff Middleton's filed a complaint against either you or Trigger. He claims somebody's got to pay for the death of Ed Hart, and I believe he's right.
But we went through all that last night, Sheriff.
Yes, I know. You claimed it was the Wild Bell Mare.
When Hart was discovered, there was no Bell Mare around. When we got to the corral, there was just you, Trigger, and the body. The blow on the head was obviously made by some hard object, like Trigger's hoof.
So that's the way it is, Roy. If you didn't do it, it must have been Trigger.
But it's all just circumstantial evidence.
In this case, circumstantial evidence is enough.
I'm afraid he's right. You admitted he ran with the wild herds. You know the law of the range. A killer horse is a killer horse and must be destroyed. I hereby order that Trigger be destroyed for the death of Ed Hart. All right, Mac, see that it's carried out.
Take your hands off of him.
No,
He's
Roy,
no
no.
killer.
Look here, Roy, I intend to see the law carried out. All right, take him away.
Hold it, Sheriff. I have a confession to make.
What do you mean, Roy?
I killed Ed Hart. I did it in self-defense. Yesterday afternoon, we had a fight, and he threatened me. And I have witnesses to prove it. Stormy, you heard him threaten me, didn't you?
Yes, Roy. But don't you realize that...
Why would you want to kill him?
I didn't want to. It was an accident.
Are you sure you're not doing this to protect Trigger?
Last night I caught Ed Hart trying to steal the Del mare. We fought again. His head hit against one of the corral posts, and he died.
Are you ready to sign a confession to that effect?
Yes, Sheriff. I'll sign it.
Well, in that case, Judge Harrison will perhaps set your trial for tomorrow. Meantime, I'll have to hold you.
Is there anything I can do for you, Roy?
Sure is, Stormy. Look after Trigger.
I'm sorry, Roy. We'll have to hold Trigger, too. Take him to the barn. See that he's well taken care of.
Well, Jeff, the trial's all over.
What was the verdict?
Judge Harrison found him guilty of manslaughter. Sentenced him to 5 to 10 years plus $5,000 fine.
$5,000, huh? 5 years. That means he'll probably work on the road gang and be out in 3 in good behavior. That'll give us plenty of time. Hey, you know, the boys haven't been able to find that Bell mare yet. We can't run the herd through without her.
Yeah, they've searched every canyon. Can't seem to locate her. It's funny how that horse disappeared. Say, speaking of horses, Rogers can't pay his fine, so the sheriff is going to auction off that Palomino of his.
Trigger, huh?
Yeah.
When?
Today, just a little while.
I've got an idea. Come on. I'll give you all the money you need. I want you to get over to the auction and buy that horse. And take him out to Hart's barn.
What do you want with Trigger?
Well, if we can't find the Bell mare, we've got to train another horse to lead the herd. Trigger's the fastest and smartest horse in the country. We'll starve him, rough him up a bit. In a couple of months, he'll be running that herd of wild horses back and forth across the border better than she did.
How high do you want me to go in the bidding?
Use your own judgment. I want that horse.
He's right over there. I think I can trust you folks. I've got to go down and start the auction.
Thanks, Sheriff. We'll just be a few minutes. Come on, Sparrow. Hello, Roy.
Hi, Stormy.
Listen, we raised all the cash we could, and we have $3,000.
Swell. That won't pay my fine, but I don't think anybody will bid that much for Trigger.
Yeah, at least Trigger will be safe. And Roy, we looked at those corrals like he told us.
Yes, we did, Roy. And Trigger obviously opened his corral gate, but the corral that mare was in was opened by somebody who was trying to lead her away. We can prove this, Roy. Why don't you let me have your trial reopened?
It wouldn't do any good. We'd be right back where we started. They wouldn't believe the mare did it anyway, and it'd come back on Trigger. Before we could get enough evidence to clear him, they'd have him destroyed. This way, at least, it'll give us enough time to look for clues that will clear both of us.
Hey, we better get to that auction. After all this trouble Trigger's caused us, we don't want to lose him.
That's right. See you later, Roy. Bye.
Bye.
I'll now open the auction for the sale of this beautiful Palomino horse. How much am I bid?
$1,000.
$1,000 bid for this beautiful stallion. Do I hear $1,250? $1,000.
$2,000.
$2,000.
$2,100.
$2,100 bid for Trigger. Do I hear $2,500?
$3,000.
$3,000 bid for Trigger by this gentleman here. Are there any more bids, gentlemen, for this beautiful stallion? Going for $3,000 once. Going for $3,000 twice.
$3,127.54.
$5,000.
$5,000. Going, gone to this gentleman here.
Hi.
We heard they were going to send you to road camp this afternoon, and the sheriff said we could come down and say goodbye.
I'm sure glad you did.
I just want to say I'm awfully sorry for what's happened.
There's no use worrying about that now. But if you happen to hear anything, be sure and let me know. Tell the Sagers goodbye for me, will you?
The boys are going to get a job close by to watch after things, so don't worry.
We'll write you every week, Roy.
Stormy, Sheriff said 2 minutes. Come on.
How are you making out with Trigger?
Okay now, but we had a lot of trouble at first. Guess he couldn't figure out what happened to Rogers. Go get him, boys. Bring him out and show the boss what he can do. We got him trained now, so he'll bring those horses back from anywhere.
Good. I just got another letter from our associates. They're all set to send another shipment through, and they want to know when we'll be ready.
Oh, here he comes now.
Hey, there's the Bell mare. Where'd you pick her up?
She's been hanging around here a couple of weeks. She was easy to catch.
Hey, that's why she left the herd and we couldn't find her.
Yeah, she's gonna have a colt. There isn't a horse in the world that could catch him. I wonder what became of that mare.
I don't know. She must have cut off back there in the rocks.
Well, she isn't important to us anymore, as long as Trigger rejoins the herd.
Now, don't worry about him. Mare will have her colt, and Trigger will bring them all back. He knows that herd needs him.
Got the mail. Mannix. Felton. Rogers. Burns.
Dear Roy, I have the most exciting news for you. While I was writing this letter, I heard a horse whinny. I rushed out of the house, and Trigger had come back to the ranch. Something small and golden was following him. When I ran out to try to coax him into the yard, Trigger took off for the hills, leaving behind the most beautiful little Palomino colt you've ever seen. While I was looking the colt over, Trigger was watching me from a hill. He must have been satisfied that his son was in good hands and was going to get the best of care, because he tossed his head and went back to join the wild herd. Roy, he's the spitting image of his father, if ever a colt was. I'll write again soon. Love, Stormy.
Dear Roy, 1 whole year has passed since Trigger left his son here to stay with us. And today he's celebrating his first birthday. Roy, he's grown like a weed, and I wish you were here to see him. He and Peppy have developed a beautiful friendship, and now he doesn't even mind that blue ribbon that she insists he wear. At first, he thought it was too sissified for a son of Trigger's. Just now, he pulled an old trick of Trigger's, and we decided there was only one thing we should call him. I'm sure you'll approve when you know what his name is. Trigger Jr. As for Trigger himself, Sparrow has seen him several times in the last year, running with the herd. He's gone back to the wild, Roy. No one can get near him. The herd spends most of its time below the border, but occasionally they come back on this side. There's only one boss in the herd. Naturally, it's Trigger.
Dear Roy, time sure passes quick. Just think, another whole year has passed since Peppy tied that ribbon on Trigger Jr. Gosh, how he's grown in that 1 year, Roy. He's a full-grown horse now and knows almost as many tricks as his old man. Stormy taught him to march. Peppy taught him to rumble. And he taught himself to bow. Boy, oh boy, he's some horse, Roy, and I know you'll approve of it. Well, this is the last letter we'll be writing to you because we're all looking forward to seeing you in a few days when you get back here to await your parole in Oro City. Everyone sends their regards. Sparrow.
Sure glad to have you back, Roy. It's been a long time. I haven't had a decent game of checkers since you left.
Glad to be back, Sheriff.
You know, to this day, I can't figure out why Ben bought Trigger for all that money, and when the horse got away, he didn't even try to catch him.
That's only one of the things around here that doesn't make sense.
From what Stormy and the boys can find out, Ben never had more than $5 at one time in his life.
Does he still hang around Middleton's hotel?
As far as I know. Say, maybe Middleton put up the money. But why? He's in the hotel business.
Your move.
Yeah, I know, Roy, but where to?
This is your evening news roundup of bulletins from the Southwest. Last night, federal law enforcement officers made a complete search of every car on the border road near Oro City in a series of unexpected roadblocks. It is rumored they were checking on smugglers.
I can't concentrate with that thing going on.
What are the federal men doing around here?
Mostly driving me crazy. They claim for the last couple of months there's been a leak at the border. They figure it's somewhere in this section. We've watched every road and pass for 24 hours a day and can't find a thing.
What kind of a leak?
Diamonds. They claim they're flooding the north with smuggled diamonds. Say, that's a pretty smart play, Roy.
Sheriff, I've got an idea for a smarter one.
Well, let me have it.
I I'm glad to say, Middleton, your credit with us is excellent. That ought to take care of all your expenses for the next shipment. We'll pay you the rest when we get the stones.
Everything's well organized. The herd of wild horses is below the border. After going back and forth so many times the last couple of years, don't worry. They're ready and waiting.
So are the diamonds.
It's all right. It's just one of my boys.
Well, thanks very much for your order, Mr. Middleton. Anytime you need any more hotel supplies, just let me know.
I put a door on this office for privacy. Can't you see I was transacting important business?
Rogers is out of jail.
It's impossible. He's still got 2 months.
They were playing checkers. He slugged the sheriff and took off.
That means he'll be looking for that horse of his. Right now, we've got another shipment ready to come north. We better make up our own posse and give the sheriff a hand. Good evening, Sheriff.
It's a bad evening. Did you hear Rogers slugged me and got away?
Yeah, we sure did.
I want to form a posse and pick him up before he gets away from this part of the country.
Well, I think we could find enough law-abiding volunteers right here in the bar. You men heard what the sheriff said. A lot of you were friends of Ed Hart. It's your chance to square things. I'll even furnish the guns. Pass them out, Spud. Any idea which way Rogers headed?
Chances are he picked up those friends of his at the Circle B and headed for the border.
All right.
Hi, fella. Say, you must be Trigger Jr. You know, your daddy was my best friend. He never told me about you, though. Guess he didn't have a chance. How about a kiss? I hope the folks in there are as friendly toward me as you are. I'm gonna need a lot of help.
Hey, I hear music.
Dreaming alone in the moonlight when night falls on the prairie. Coyotes from afar see a fallen star. Night on the prairie, singing alone in the moonlight, the sage of silver shadows, while I'm humming low in my campfire glow, dreaming of you. Just Trigger and me, riding all day, riding a trail to nowhere, ever alone, never a home, and when the long, long day is done, I'm dreaming alone in the moonlight, when night falls on the prairie, but my thoughts will stray ever far away, dreaming of you.
A solas yo voy, no sé qué hacer.
Sin rumbo voy, ¿qué importa?
Solo estoy sin mi querer.
And when the long, long day is done, I'm dreaming alone in the moonlight, when night falls on the prairie, but my thoughts will stray ever far away, dreaming of you.
You know, I'd like to thank all of you for standing by me. And Stormy, he did a swell job raising this little fella. He's a dandy. Only one better.
All right, get your hands up. Don't make a move, Rogers, because you're covered. You're coming back with me, and this time it's going to be for 10 years.
Stormy, I'm glad your father isn't alive today. Why, he'd be ashamed to see his daughter aiding a fugitive and a murderer.
That's my business.
If it happens again, it'll be my business. Surprised you thought you could get away with this. I'll get that horse saddled up. We're heading back for jail.
Sheriff!
I'm sorry, Stormy, but you saw what happened.
It's a plain case of self-defense. We all saw him draw on you.
How is he? We'll get a buckboard and take him back to town. Well, that just about does it, Jeff. I want to thank you again for getting me this posse and taking care of this criminal.
As a pleasure, Sheriff. I only did what any law-abiding citizen would have done.
Well, I won't need you with the posse any longer. You can all go back to town. And thanks.
Have they gone yet?
Yes, Roy.
Boy, you and the boys follow them. Keep a lookout and warn us if they start to come back.
All right.
Doing all right, Roy? I think I'll live.
How about a cup of coffee, Sheriff?
Fine. Gee, Roy, you made that fall so real, I was afraid I forgot to put in the blanks.
I'm sure glad you didn't forget.
I still think I ought to have my head examined. If this little scheme of yours doesn't work out, I'm going to look awful silly.
Well, you said this morning you didn't know why Middleton spent so much money for Trigger, then turned him loose. This is why. That herd of wild horses can run on either side of the border without causing any excitement. Sometimes they're south, and sometimes they're north. But right now, they're south.
That's right, Sheriff. We checked on them, and they were headed that way a week ago.
Have you made arrangements with the Mexican authorities?
Mm-hmm. They'll do their part before the herd leaves. I've told them everything we know. All right, we get the horses. Where are the diamonds and saddlebags?
Well, I'm not sure, but they're on them someplace.
You know, Roy, after that little talk in jail this morning, I'm really convinced that the brains of this organization is right on this side of the border.
I thought you'd see it that way. That's where Stormy comes in, if it's a deal.
I'm in it so deep now, it's a deal.
Set him up, Spud. The drinks are on the house.
Okay.
Take the men down the border before morning. You can pick up the herd at Los Alamos Gap.
What time do you figure the horses will be coming through?
Well, they'll be turning them loose at dawn. Ought to take them a couple of hours to get there. Now, this is a big shipment, so be careful.
Okay, Jeff. I'll get the boys going as soon as they've had a couple of shots. Come on, Spud. I'm thirsty. Hey, boss.
Mr. Middleton, I've got to talk to you.
After last night's performance, I shouldn't think you'd have anything to say.
But this is very important. It's about Roy. Is there some place we could talk in private?
Rogers, huh? Come on in my office. Now, what's this all about?
I've been thinking over what you said last night. You were right. My father would be ashamed of me for associating with criminals. So I've come to apologize and confess.
Confess? Confess what?
Everything that happened last night was just an act to make you think Roy was shot so he could escape.
But the sheriff shot him.
I know he did. I don't understand it myself. They were only blanks. After you left, Roy got up and had a talk with the sheriff.
What about?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't hear them.
I'm glad you told me this. This time, we'll do the shooting. Thanks very much for coming by, Stormy. I'll see you later.
All right, Mr. Middleton.
Hello, operator. Give me long distance and hurry. The herd's already gone. That's great.
You want to see me, Jeff?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah? Anything wrong? Everything. Don't leave that phone. I may need you.
Trouble?
Yeah, plenty. Rogers and that sheriff double-crossed us. I've got to get to Bend before the herd comes
How did you find out about it?
From Stormy.
How do you know she was telling the truth?
Because the way the sheriff captured Rogers was too easy. It was all a plant.
What about the shipment?
I've just got time to pick Ben up. He should have the diamonds by then, and I'll keep heading south. Stick around that phone in case anything comes up. I'll meet you down there later.
Remember, boys, only those marked with an X. Let's go. What's the matter, Jeff?
Hurry it up. Listen, I gotta pay you fellas off in diamonds, and then we gotta split up and clear out of here.
All right, great.
Shall I give the signal?
In just a minute.
Sand.
Yeah. We've been double-crossed.
Yeah, somebody's been double-crossed, but I'm not sure who.
All of you put your hands up.
Get down, Stormy. Till the boys close in.
Here's the last one, Sheriff. Roy, you sure figured right. This just about cleans things up.
Not quite. I still have to find Trigger.
He just led the wild herd through here. He can't be very far. Roy, Trigger's been running wild. Please be careful.
Don't worry, Stormy. I will. Let's go, Junior.
Hey, here they come.
I'll bet Jeff Middleton never dreamed we'd be using Trigger to bring in the whole herd.
Take a good look at your daddy, Junior. Maybe someday you'll be as good a horse as he is. Get that thing in gear, Sparrow. Let's get out of here.
So it's you, Garfield.
Ace, I found it.
Well, settle down. Found what?
Oil. Barrels of it. Millions of barrels of it.
Well, that's what you've been looking for, isn't it?
Yes, but I didn't expect to find it oozing out of the ground.
Where is all this oil?
You know the caves out on Ben Taylor's ranch?
I know about where they are.
Well, they're afloat with it.
How would oil get out there? Hey, we had an earthquake out there about a year ago. Do you suppose...
That's just what happened. The quake created new pressures on the pool. That's why the Metropolitan Oil Company has oil scouts like me covering the San Pablo Fault from Canada to Mexico. And the quake was along that fault. And part of Ben Taylor's ranch lies right on it.
Oil. That's going to be a big thing in this country.
It's going to be one of the biggest things in this country. We're going to be big with it.
I don't get that.
Look, Ace, I'll go back to the company and tell them I found some signs of oil. I'll get another 6 months to continue the survey.
And what then?
Then I'll tell them about the oil in Taylor's caves.
You left something out, didn't you?
You bet I did. You're part of the deal.
All right, let's have it.
Now, here's Taylor's ranch. This is the Duchess ranch.
That's a rider outfit.
The oil pool probably lies under this whole area.
As big as all that?
And we've got to control every acre of it we can get our hands on. Adams Ranch and all the others.
Then we'll sell the land to the company.
No, we sell nothing. We let the company drill the wells on a royalty basis.
Man, there's millions in it.
Why, sure there is.
But fellas like Taylor won't want to sell out.
What are those gunfighters out there for?
You mean shoot them off their land?
Sure, shoot them off, burn them off. Make life so miserable for them, they'll sell out to you for bottle caps.
When are you going to leave for the East?
Tonight, I'll be back in 2 weeks.
And when you get back, we'll be in the oil business.
And in a big way. I'm going to pack. I'll see you later.
On the way, I'll tell the boys I'd like to see them, will you?
Sure.
I never seen such goings-on in my life. Folks getting killed, families being burned off of their ranches, cattle being run off.
If we don't get this fence mended, our cattle will stray off. Get your face out of that newspaper, Happy Jack, and give me a hand.
Red Ryder, right. We got him work to do.
Shucks, the only time I get a chance to read what's going on in the world is when I sneak a newspaper out into the open. Hey, look at that, Red. You just see what your aunt does to him? Look at that. How to bake a cake, how to stay thin when eating cake, how to make doodads out of wallpaper.
That's all for you, Happy Jack. The Duchess thinks you're quite a boy.
Boy? Huh. I was a boy long before the Civil War, Red. Say, you know she scares me.
Well, don't let it get you. Put that paper down and come over here and help.
Yeah.
Pull him tight, then Red Ryder nail him.
Don't you go tell me what to do now. Here. There goes your newspaper. But with a woman with a pair of scissors and an engine with a knife, I ain't ever going to get the news read.
We'll ride over to Ben Taylor's place. Maybe some fence down there.
Yeah, maybe. Say, how come Ben ain't been troubled with them raiders so far?
His daughter told me he has been warned.
Oh, the skunks. Oh, don't worry, Ben will catch up with them.
I sure hope so. Yeah, that'll hold. Well, let's ride over there.
I'm going to ride into town, Dad.
And I don't like the idea of you riding around alone with all them raiders on the loose.
I'll keep my eyes open.
You better take a gun.
What makes you think they'll bother me?
You can't tell what they'll do.
Dad, you're worried about those raiders, aren't you?
Sure I am. So is every rancher in the valley.
Would you like to sell the ranch and move into town?
What are you talking about? You don't know your dad very well if you think he can be scared off his own land.
That sounds more like you, Dad. Dad, the raiders!
Get inside.
Be a raid at the Taylor Ranch. know. You need the Duchess right now. Happy Jack and I'll take care of everything here.
Thanks, Red.
Little Beaver, you take Ann to the Duchess.
You safe for Little Beaver, Miss Ann.
Sometimes I get so mad at that little Indian kid, I could fan his britches for him. And there's other times I just love the little fellow.
Yes, I know how you feel, Happy Jack. Well, come on, we've got a lot of work to do here. And we'll ride to town to make arrangements with the funeral.
There. Happy Jack, you're the only ranch foreman I know who gets his socks darned by the owner.
I've been letting my toes leak out for years, ma'am, and liked it.
What you need is a woman's care, Happy Jack.
Well, oh, no, now, Red, nothing like that, no. Oh, please, I'm happy just like I am.
Maybe Happy Jack happy inside, but outside sour like green apple.
Now, there, you see, there he goes talking about my face again.
I think it's a nice face.
Well, I wouldn't know about that, ma'am. I never have to look at it. That is, except when I shave.
Red, what are we going to do about these killings? Ben was a mighty good friend of ours.
Don't let Ann hear you.
She's asleep in the spare room. Little Beaver, better run along to bed now.
Yes, Aunt Duchess. Night.
Good night.
Red, those rustlers have got to be stopped.
They're not rustlers, Duchess.
Not rustlers. Well, that's what I call killers that run off other folks' cattle.
They're not running them off. Smart rustlers don't kill cattle. These raiders have been shooting them down, driving them over cliffs and drowning them.
Well, what do you make of it?
Somebody wants the land.
Well, it's nothing but range land.
Oh, shucks, some of it ain't even worth as much as $1 an acre.
I don't know why they want it, but I'm convinced that's the reason for all these raids.
I'm not so sure about that. I still think it's a bunch of rustlers and probably backed by Ace Hanlon.
Ace is in it, all right. He bought out Roberts, Judson, and Adams after the raids on their places.
How do you know that?
I checked.
Red ain't been losing no time.
Red hasn't been losing no time, Happy Jack.
All right, whatever you say Red hasn't been doing, he ain't been doing.
Now, Ace will probably make an offer on the Taylor Ranch.
If Ann sells to him, I'll spank her.
Well, you tell Ann not to sell at any price. And you keep your eyes on her because I have an idea there may be trouble around here.
You mean those mangy raiders might strike at our ranch?
They might.
Oh, not if they know you live here, they won't.
I'm going to try and block anything like that.
How?
By having a showdown with Mr. Ace Hanlon.
Oh, but Red.
If we had a sheriff here in Maverick, I'd let him handle it. But since we haven't, somebody's got to uphold the law.
Hey, what are we stopping here for, Red? I thought you was headed for Ace Hanlon's.
In a minute. Little Beaver, you stay here with the horses.
But Red, we want to go do
Now, you do what Red tells you, or I'm going to fan your britches for you.
You do and me tell Duchess.
I guess that'll hold you happy, Jack.
Well, let's see.
I want to see Ace Hanlon.
He's busy.
Let him tell me that, Nick. Who's the stranger?
Well, Ace Hanlon's, I guess. I've seen him riding around the country a few times.
I've got a business deal on, Ryder. What do you want? Still buying ranches, Ace?
What's that to you? Don't ask questions, Hanlon. Answer them.
I'll handle this, Happy Jack.
There isn't anything to handle. I buy what I want.
And you only want the ranches people have been gunsmoked and the selling.
Lay it on the line, Ryder. What are you driving at?
Roberts, Judson, and Adams were shot off of their ranches. You bought them.
Sure I did. And you were just sore because you and your aunt got beat out of a couple of good buys.
And now Ben Taylor's been shot down.
So I hear.
I think you had him shot, Ace. Why did you have Taylor killed?
It's easy to accuse a man of murder when you're pointing a gun at him. If you didn't have that six-shooter, I'd beat you to a pulp for that crack.
I'm a peaceable man, Ace, but I'm going to accommodate you. See that the rest of the boys stay out of this, Happy Jack.
You got the whole wide world to work in, Red. Come on, get over there. Hurry up. Come on, knock his ears down, Red. That was the prettiest knuckle and elbow dance I ever seen in my life, Red. Here. And I guess that'll teach you a lesson, my friend.
Let's go.
Okay. Get him in the office. Say, doggone it, Red, you never give me a chance to do any nose knocking anymore. Why, shucks, I'm forgetting how to fight.
You're getting too old and brittle, Happy Jack. I'm afraid pieces of you'll break off.
Even Dutchess whipped my Happy Jack.
Now, Happy Jack is going to whip me, Little Beaver, unless Little Beaver keep him quiet.
Well, why didn't some of you boys step in? I tried to, but somebody floored me. Well, the next time Red Ryder hits town, I want you to put a bullet in him. Well, that ain't smart, Ace. Let me do it. What's the matter? You afraid of him? Now, you know better than that. But everybody in town knows you hate Red. And if one of your men guns him, it's going to cause you trouble. Yeah, I guess you're right. I got it. Here's a letter from Johnny Bennett. Who's Johnny Bennett? They call him the San Antonio Kid. He used to deal faro for me. He's broke and wants to borrow $1,000.
What's that got to do with Red Ryder?
He'll earn this $1,000 by rubbing Ryder out. I didn't know the kid was a killer. He never had to be. He's the fastest man with a six-shooter I ever saw.
Maybe he won't go for it.
He'll go for anything when he's broke. And if we have to, we'll jump the ante. Along there's his address. Wire him 500 and tell him to come running.
No cattle around here, Red. This country's as clean as a whistle.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Didn't Peter see no cattle?
Suppose there could be any strays in those caves?
Well, as long as we're here, let's take a look, huh?
That's a good idea. Smells funny in here.
Yeah, it sure does.
Maybe a new kind of skunk.
Well, I'll take the old kind. I'm used to them.
Happy Jack, it's oil.
It's what?
Oil. Crude oil. Petroleum.
What's it doing in here? Why, I always thought that oil come in barrels.
Must be seepage from an oil pool. It looks like there's plenty of it, too. That peculiar odor you smell is gas. You always find it where there's oil.
Say, Red, can you grease a gun with that stuff?
Well, not the way it is. It has to be refined first.
Oh, well.
What good stinking gas?
It can be mighty valuable, properly controlled, and can be very dangerous, too. So that's what's behind all this.
That's what's behind all what, Red?
The oil. That's why Hanlon wants all the land around here.
Looks like you're right, Red. It didn't make sense when you said so the other night. Gosh, they sure done an awful lot of killing to get it, ain't they?
Little beaver no kill nobody for stinking gas.
Say, now you hush your clapper, Sprout. Say, this makes Ann Taylor a rich gal, don't it?
Yes, sir, mighty rich. Now, don't you say a word about this to anyone. Anyone, understand? Not even the Duchess or Ann.
Well, why not?
Because I'm working out a plan. I want you to follow my lead. Both of you.
Oh, sure. Anything you say, Red, sure.
Me keep quiet, too.
Little Beaver, get the canteen off my saddle.
You betcha.
What do you want that for, Red?
I want to take a sample of this crude oil back to the ranch.
Hey, there she goes. Now, there she goes, cutting up the paper again. My golly, we could have declared war on the whole world, but I'd never know it, not by that paper.
Now, Happy Jack, you'll be glad enough to eat this blueberry pie when I bake it.
Ah, blueberry pie.
I've set the bread dough, Duchess.
Oh, thanks, Ann.
I was out to the cave country on your ranch today, Ann. You been out there lately?
Not for 2 or 3 years. Those caves are full of rattlesnakes. Dad didn't like to have me go out there.
What do you plan to do with the ranch?
I don't know. Sell it, I guess.
I'll give you $5,000 for it. If the Duchess will loan me the money.
$5,000? But it isn't worth that much, Red.
I think it is.
What do you want a ranch for? You never stay in one place long enough to run one.
Well, maybe I'm ready to settle down. Will you loan me the money?
I suppose so, if Ann wants to sell.
What do you say, Ann?
I'd be a fool not to at that price.
There used to be some old deeds around here. If you've still got one, we might as well close this deal right now.
Seems to me you're in a powerful hurry.
Well, after all, it's for Ann's protection.
How so?
Well, as long as these raiders are still around here, Ann may be the target for another attack. But if she doesn't own anything, then they won't be gunning for her.
That makes sense, Ann.
And anytime you want the ranch back, you can have it for the same price.
Oh, I won't want to buy it back. Don't worry. Thanks a lot, Red. Where are those deeds?
They're over there on the desk.
Read that.
Your latest report indicates there's no substantial oil deposit in Painted Valley. If you cannot provide us with more favorable information within 60 days from the date of this letter, the appropriation for your survey will be canceled. Yours very truly, Metropolitan Oil Company. By T.L. Stern, Chief Exploration Department. Well, what's wrong with that? We got nearly 60 days.
What's wrong with it? Make where I set up. The whole oil field centers in the Taylor Ranch. If you make a move to buy it now, Red Ryder will jump you. And the company's bound.
Oh, don't be a fool, Garfield. The San Antonio kid will take care of Ryder.
Yeah, we hope he will, but he isn't here yet in the Taylor place.
You buy the Taylor place at a fair price. That'll check any suspicion.
Suppose Miss Taylor refuses to sell.
You'll offer enough so she can't refuse, and do it tomorrow.
All right.
H-A-P-P-Y. Happy. J-A-C-K. Happy Jack.
That'll be the last arrow out of his quiver. Oh, I'm gonna break every one of those arrows in 1,000 pieces, you. I'll bet you if I have to run till tomorrow to get... Hey!
Happy Jack, not happy now!
I'll skin you alive. I'll scalp you. I'll start a Linden war, huh? Because your ranch is precisely the type of place I'm looking for, I'm prepared to offer you $10,000 for it.
$10,000? If you knew anything about land values around here, you'd know that's more than the place is worth.
Well, it's worth it to me. My doctor has ordered a change of climate, and Painted Valley's my choice. What's your answer, Miss Taylor?
I'll take it.
Good. Now, if you'll just sign this deed...
Can't sign it.
Why not?
It doesn't belong to her. My nephew, Red Ryder, owns it.
Red Ryder owns it.
That's right.
But he said he'd sell it back to me if I wanted it. $10,000 is such a lot of money.
And it'll be in cash.
Red usually keeps his word, Ann. Well, why don't you talk to Red now? He's just riding into the yard.
Hello, Ann.
Red?
Oh, that's just...
Red, this is Mr. Garfield.
Well, what's he doing here?
He wants to buy Ann's ranch.
He'll pay me $10,000 for it.
I'm sorry, Ann. The ranch isn't for sale.
But, Red, you promised you'd sell it back to me if I ever wanted it.
I've changed my mind.
Well, you're not making much sense, Red. $10,000 is a lot of money for that ranch.
Duchess, I said the ranch isn't for sale.
Apparently some people don't hesitate at swindling their friends. How much do you want for it?
Now get this, Garfield. The Taylor Ranch isn't for sale. And you get off this one.
You'll hear more from this, Ryder.
I've got good ears. Now get out.
Why did you treat Mr. Garfield like that?
Because I don't want him on the place, Ann.
I don't like it, Red. Ann can use that money. And Mr. Garfield still may want to buy.
I suppose you'll sell the ranch and take the $5,000 profit.
Come here, little beaver. Remember that canteen I brought back from the cave?
Canteen full of stinking gas.
That's right. Well, it's hanging in the saddle room. You will get it and bring it right back here to me.
You betcha.
I never thought I'd see the day that Red Ryder would try to cheat a girl.
Oh, now hold on there, Duchess.
Ann can't have the ranch to sell because it's worth far more than any of us ever dreamed of.
Red, what are you driving at?
No, I'm really confused.
Well, Red ain't. He knows what he's doing.
Here comes stinking gas.
Thanks, little beaver. See that, Ann? That's crude oil from your ranch.
Crude oil on my ranch?
Those caves you haven't seen lately are practically flooded with it.
That's why you didn't want Ann to sell.
I didn't even want her to know about it until Hanlon made his next move.
Hanlon?
Our friend Ace. He made his move through Garfield.
I'm sorry, Red. I acted like a little fool.
That's all right. Forget it.
But who is this Garfield?
I don't know yet.
But he is a pal of Ace Hanlon's, isn't he?
Yes, I'd call him that.
Oh, if I'd known that,
Ah, this is a fine time to talk. Well, you've been siding with Garfield all along, and now you're trying to accuse Red of cheating Ann. Oh, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Why, doggone it, if I was you,
I tell you what I'll do. I'll grease that funeral face of yours so you can smile instead of calamity howling all the time.
Oh, no, no.
I've cooked your food, I've darned your socks, I've made special victuals for you, and what do I get out of it? All I've ever gotten out of you is a dismal wail and sour milk. Now come and get your own. Come here, you.
Now, that's it. No.
You were right. That just rip 'em, Happy Jack.
Well, Jughead, which way do you figure Maverick is from here?
time you're down in my country, I'll do the same for you.
Well, I'll remember that. How did you get down there?
Well, I wasn't picking wildflowers. An eagle broke cover and scared my horse. He piled me.
The best of us got thrown.
I guess all my bones are in one piece. Here we go. Now look at him. Gets scared by a bird, throws me 4 miles in the air, and now he stands there as though nothing happened. Hey, my name is Johnny Bennett.
Well, Red Rider is mine. Glad to know you.
Glad isn't the word for it, brother.
Say, my aunt has a ranch just over the hill here. Suppose we ride over there. Maybe we can do something about this torn coat.
Well, thanks. I'll be glad to. So, you're Red Rider's pal, eh?
You betcha. Red Rider teach him Little Beaver all Little Beaver know. Red Rider, best cowboy in whole world.
I'll put in with you there, Little Beaver.
Why you wearing 6 pistols tied to leg, Mr. Johnny?
Sometimes I have to get to it real quick, like this.
You fast, but Red Rider faster.
You sure do think a lot of Red, don't you?
You betcha. Red Rider saved Little Beaver's life. Little Beaver never forget.
I'd give a lot if somebody felt that way about me.
Red's looking for you, Little Beaver.
Me go now.
Won't you have another sandwich, Mr. Bennett?
No, thanks, ma'am. You know, it's worth being thrown over a cliff just to meet folks like you.
But Red said you could have been badly hurt.
I could have been killed, and that's bad enough for me.
That jacket's seen its best days, Mr. Bennett. Red's digging you up another.
Thanks, ma'am. Say, couldn't you shorten that Mr. Bennett down to Johnny?
Guess we'll have to if Red has his way. He wants to keep you on the ranch. You are a cowboy, aren't you?
I've punched enough cattle to be called one, ma'am.
Well, then you've got a job, if you want it.
I'd like nothing better than to work for an outfit like this. But, you see, I can make more dealing faro.
Oh, a gambler.
I'm not above punching cows again, ma'am. But there's something else.
Are you dodging the law, Johnny?
No, ma'am. I borrowed some money from a man on a promise I'd do a job for him.
Oh, and you don't want to tie yourself down until you've kept that promise.
That's it.
Good boy. Stick to it.
This ought to do, Johnny.
Well, thanks.
Hey, golly, I'm glad it fits. Did you put him on the payroll?
Johnny has a job to do. When he gets that done, we may see him again.
Good.
Oh, you'll be seeing me. Right now, I'd better be getting into Maverick. Well, thanks for everything, ma'am.
Call me Duchess, everyone else does.
Well, Miss Taylor, thanks.
I'll walk out to your horse with you, Johnny.
Ryder, what you got here is mighty fine. I haven't had anything like it since I was a kid.
Your folks?
Haven't it?
Johnny, there's a job here for you anytime.
Thanks. For a lot of things. So long, Red.
So long, Johnny.
What do you have? Where can I find Ace Hamlin? My name is Johnny Bennett. In that office. Thanks.
How many times do I have to tell you to quit worrying about Red Rider? I've always got an ace in the hole. And if I... Come in. I told you I had an ace in the hole, and here he is. Kid, how are you?
Fine, Ace, just fine.
Walter, this is Johnny Bennett, the San Antonio Kid. Shake hands with Mr. Garfield.
Howdy, Mr. Garfield. How are you, kid?
Well, I see you got my telegram. Sure. Thanks for the 500. I bet you haven't got much of it left.
Not much. I tried to outguess a dice game in El Paso on the way over.
I told you there's only one like him. Kid, I got a job for you.
Dealing fail?
Well, no, not exactly. Oh, by the way, you asked for 1,000. Here's the other 500.
Thanks, Ace.
There's more where that come from. Kid, I want a man rubbed out.
That's a little out of my line, Ace.
Look, Walt and I have got a big deal. The biggest you ever heard of. There's only one man that's standing in our way. Now, you knock him off and we'll cut you in.
Sure we will. That 1,000's only a bonus.
Who is this man?
His name is Red Ryder.
Red Ryder. What is he? Gunfighter?
No, just a cowpuncher. With your speed, it'll be just
murder. That's what I don't like about it. Deal me out, Ace.
Oh, now, look, kid, we said we'd cut you in on the deal.
I never thought the San Antonio kid would turn down big money. Well, I'll just have to get another man.
Red Ryder goes anyway. Is that it?
When I call a showdown, I mean it.
I know it, Ace. You always did. I'll go up against this Red Ryder. Tell me more about it.
Now you're talking.
That's great, kid. Sit down.
Now quit it. Now quit it, will you? Why don't you go empty that thing someplace else? Don't you see I've got enough dirt in here already? Stop it. Oh, say, Duchess, Red's down to the corral working some horses. I better go down and help him.
Well, now, Happy Jack, you know Red's perfectly capable of working those horses himself. There's a pretty flower as a reward.
Oh,
Little Beaver, there's nothing to laugh at. Now, you clean up that flower box.
And now stop it. Stop that or I'll wring your neck for you.
Happy Jack, you must never speak that way to a child.
Jack! He couldn't cause any more trouble if he was sitting bull.
Happy Jack, you come back here.
Hello, Duchess.
Hello.
Hello, Johnny.
Nice to see you. Did you finish your job?
Not yet. I brought back Red's jumper.
Don't hurry about that. Tell Red Johnny Bennett's here.
You betcha.
I think I'll take this in the house. You tell him the job's still open.
I wish you would take the job, Johnny. I think you'd like it here.
I'd like nothing better, but, well, I'll talk to Red about it.
You'll talk to Red about what, Johnny? How are you, kid?
Kid?
I think I'll go help the Duchess.
So you know I'm the San Antonio kid. What else do you know?
I might just as well have called you Johnny or Lad. I never heard of the San Antonio kid.
I suppose you haven't heard Ace Hanlon's paid me $1,000 to rub you out?
No, I haven't heard that either. Why aren't you earning your money?
I aim to.
Come here, Johnny. I want to talk to you.
Red.
Yes, Johnny, what is it?
You turned your back on me then.
Sure I did.
And after what I told you about Hanlon?
Look, Johnny, you're a gambler. And you know there's only one way to play a hand that's been dealt. The way you see it. I saw it that way.
Boy, you sure have got what it takes.
Come on in the house. Raise 50.
Hello, kid. Hi, Ace. You men must hate fresh air.
Have a seat, Garfield.
Thanks, Ace. Garfield was all set to turn in.
I certainly was. Kid told me there was going to be plenty of money in this game. Better give me a couple $100 worth, Ace.
Give me a couple $100, Ace.
Garfield's in a stiff poker game. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah. We saw him and the kid leave the hotel.
His room upstairs in the corner, Red.
Yeah, that's right, all right.
Keep me covered.
Yeah.
Frank H. Allen to Walter Garfield. 1/2 interest in the Roberts Ranch. The Hanlon to Garfield. Judson Ranch, 1/2 interest. Frank H. Hanlon to Garfield. Adams Ranch, 1/2 interest. Your latest reports indicate there is no substantial oil deposit in Painted Valley. If you cannot provide us with more favorable information within 60 days from date of this letter, the appropriation for your survey will be canceled. Very truly yours, Metropolitan Oil Company, by T.L. Stearns, Chief Exploration Department.
I want to know how